Welcome to Trash Course.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Damon.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Tori.
Today we'll be talking about bacteria and protists.
It's about time we talk about the rest of the world besides those animals and plants.
We're talking about the most abundant living species on the planet: archaea, bacteria, and protists.
This one's for you, Dr. Holloway.
Bacteria are the most abundant and diverse organisms on Earth today. And you may ask how they formed on the planet we call Earth.
So you know that bacteria is broken down into multiple groups, but mainly gram-negative bacteria and proteobacteria. There are 5 classes of proteobacteria, but let's just call them proteobacteria.
Prokaryotes have one distinguishable feature that sets it apart from others: its cell wall.
Whoa.
I know. The cell wall maintains shape and provides protection. All prokaryotes contain a polymer called peptidoglycan, which is a molecular fabric that encloses the bacterium and anchors other molecules. Hey, whoa.
Ooh, Mr. D, what the heck is the point of peptidoglycan and the gram thingy majiggers?
Well, Damon from 2010, scientists can distinguish bacteria whether they're gram-negative or positive. If a bacteria is gram-negative, its structure is more complex and contains less peptidoglycan, and if it's positive, it means that it has more peptidoglycan, making its structure less complex. Me from 2010. Prokaryotes may contain either a capsule, which is sometimes referred to as a slime layer, and endospheres, which are developed cells by the bacteria. Both of these aid the bacteria in withstanding harsh conditions. Prokaryotes also have the ability to perform taxis, a directed movement toward or away from a stimulus.
They do this by using a structure called the flagella.
Essentially giving prokaryotes a motor for motility.
Prokaryotes lack a nucleus, therefore their chromosomes are circular, located in the nucleoid. Surrounding the nuclei are plasmids, which are basically replicated DNA.
Dang, look at us, we're super
Swifty.
Bet you guys didn't see flagellas as motors for motility
like real prokaryotes.
Hey guys, it's me again. Prokaryotes, unlike eukaryotes, reproduce by mutations through binary fission.
Since prokaryotes do not reproduce sexually, it has to find other ways without meiosis.
So, bacteria have to mutate rapidly in order to evolve. Although mutations are a large portion of variation of the population of prokaryotes, they also evolve through genetic recombinations. Essentially, the bacteria steals DNA from other sources and combines it with its own.
Ooh, skater boy, don't bacteria also do the cell cycle? Don't bacteria also do the cell cycle?
Enough, you two. Can we go eat some Szechuan sauce? Anyways, prokaryotes accomplish gene recombination through transformation, transduction, and conjugation. Transduction is the movement of bacterial DNA from one bacterium to another via a viral vector. Transduction is most likely caused by accidents. In most cases, a prokaryote cannot replicate its own DNA, so it injects it with another DNA sample that can replicate with its own.
Transformation is where mutations are caused to the DNA by uptaking of foreign DNA from its surrounding DNA. When the cell takes up a new DNA, it combines it with its very own DNA, and the prokaryote is considered recombinant.
And finally, conjugation is the process in where two prokaryotes, which in most cases are of the same species, are temporarily joined together and exchange DNA with one another.
Hey, if we're talking about prokaryotes, then we can talk about proteobacteria and gram-negative bacteria. Yeah, just kidding, those don't really matter. It's all about archaea.
Did you mean archaeology?
Huh, you're funny me, but no, really, archaeo are actually pretty interesting. Prokaryote means before the nucleus, which proves they were the first things that existed on Earth 3 billion years ago, and the Earth was raining meteors at that time.
Huh?
Yes, Earth was a big spicy ball of fire before archaea was able to live on Earth. Since it was super hot back then, archaea were called extremophiles. There are two types of extremophiles: extreme thermophiles and extreme halophiles. Thermophiles can live basically anywhere that's super hot, like hot springs, volcanic vents, something like that. Extreme halophiles is where they can live on the saltiest environments, like the Dead Sea.
Whoa!
It was arsenic, crushed emeralds, sitting in sewers, or sitting in a room between two enormous fires. But nowadays, it's antibiotics such as streptomycin or gentamicin. Symptoms may include pain areas in the abdomen or muscles, a cough which can be filled with blood. The whole body has fevers, chills, fatigue, or malaise. It has gastrointestinal problems such as diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Also common is bleeding, delirium, headaches, shortness of breath, swollen and tender lymph nodes. To prevent yourself from the Black Plague is do not handle dead or sick animal bodies, avoid rodent droppings, avoid insect bites and using insect repellent, eliminate fleas from your home, avoid touching a plague-infected person or animal, 3 feet between you and anyone who has it, and wash your hands regularly. The future of the disease, although bubonic plague is rarer, is still common in Africa, India, and Asia. There are antibiotics such as streptomycin or gentamicin to stop bubonic plague, but there are no available vaccines.
The bacterium called Borrelia burgdorferi has a helical shape with an inner and outer membrane as well as a flexible cell wall. This allows it to get swifty in the body. The cell wall is rather complex in structure, meaning it lacks peptidoglycan, making Borrelia burgdorferi a gram-negative bacterium, just like I talked about earlier. Hey guys, it's me again. And I'm finally going to discuss the future of Lyme disease. Scientists in the near future hope to develop a Lyme disease serum to fully prevent the Lyme disease infection.
God bless.
Do you like sushi? Me too! Sushi is a great segue into Archaeplastidias. Most of the seaweed that wraps around sushi is made from red algae, which is in fact a protist.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We should first tell them what a protist is.
The first thing they should know is that protists are a mostly multicellular group of eukaryotics.
Protists can be broken into 4 groups: excavates, SAR, Archaeplastida, and Cercozoa. Let's start off with the excavates, which can be further broken down into the diplomonads, the parabasalids, and the euglenozoans. Both the diplomonads and the parabasalids have reduced mitochondria known as mitosomes and hydrogenosomes, respectively. These protists lack functional electron transport chains and thus are found in anaerobic environments.
Eugenes have spiral structures in their flagella, and kinetoplastids and euglenoids are most known protists. Trypanosoma, a kinetoplastid, infects humans' bodies by frequent changes in its surface protein. The immune system can adjust to the rapid transformations and is unable to protect the body.
The next group of protists are known as the SAR clade, with the first subgroup being straminopiles. An example of these protists include diatoms, which have a glass-like wall and can withstand pressure. When diatoms die, the carbon in their bodies sink to the ocean floor and contribute to the rising carbon dioxide levels. Algae also belong to straminopiles as multicellular organisms. They go through an alternation of generations in which both haploid and diploid stages are multicellular.
Most of the seaweed that wraps around sushi is made from red algae, which is in fact a protist. Red and green algae, along with some land plants, are all a part of the supergroup of Archaeplastidias. They are monophyletic, which means they all come from a single ancestor, and that is hypothesized to be a protist, which ate a cyanobacteria.
Red algae is red because of the chemical called phycoerythrin, which overrides the green color of chlorophyll. They can also be this way because they absorb blue and green light. They are mostly multicellular and they need currents to reproduce because their gametes aren't flagellated.
Green algae is similar to land plants, and some scientists believe they should be in the plant kingdom. Green algae can be broken down into two groups, charophytes and chlorophytes. Charophytes are most like plants. Chlorophytes differ in that they live in freshwater and can be unicellular. They can also have radiation-blocking chemicals in their cells.
The last supergroup is Uniconta, which includes animals, fungi, and protists. The two major classes of these are amoebozoans and opisthocons. An example of a prominent protist pathogen is Plasmodium. Plasmodium lives inside cells hidden from the host's immune system, which severely hinders the effect of malarial vaccines. Inside the host liver cell, the Plasmodium cell undergoes asexual replication. The replication creates merozoites that are released into the circulatory system. Merozoites invade erythrocytes, which are red blood cells, and become enlarged ring-shaped trophozoites. These cells ingest the host cytoplasm and split hemoglobin into amino acids. Plasmodium is the parasite that causes malaria. Symptoms include fever, chills, sweats, headaches, nausea, vomiting, and body aches. Most drugs used in treatment are active against the parasite forms in the blood and include malarone, Cortem, and Larium. Along with improving proven interventions for malaria control, researchers are contemplating new interventions or updating previously used malaria control interventions. These include new drugs and vaccines for treatment and prevention, new diagnostic tests, innovative insecticide-treated materials, and revised systems for delivering and evaluating malaria control.
Trypanosoma, a kinetoplastid, infects humans' bodies by frequent changes in its surface protein. The easiest way to thoroughly fight off the disease is to catch it in the first stage. The treatment in this phase is Surinam or pentamidine. It's much harder to fight in the second stage, but there are now 3 treatments available: melarsoprol, eflornithine, and nifurtimox, which is used with L-4-thine. Now that we've talked about bacteria and protists, let's wrap this up.
Protists are diverse eukaryotic organisms. They originated by endosymbiosis when a host engulfed an alpha proteobacterium that evolved in the mitochondrion that is now found in all eukaryotes. Eukaryotes are divided into 4 groups: Excavata, Saarclade, Archaeplastida, and Uniconta.
Archaeplastidia is very similar to plants, especially the protist green algae. Uniconta is further set into 2 categories: amoebozoans and opisthocons.
So, in conclusion to this trash course, we will discuss about prokaryotes, which are unicellular organisms which can be classified as either gram-negative or gram-positive. Prokaryotes can also evolve through rapid reproduction, also through genetic recombination. The 3 main types of genetic recombination are transformation, transduction, and conjugation.
Whoa. Also, we learned about archaea, which are defined as extremophiles, known as the extreme thermophiles or extreme halophiles. As always, thanks for watching Trash Course for Bacteria and Protists. We hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you check out our next installment of World War I starring Damon Chun.
I'm Amanda Vian Khan.
I'm Damon Chun.
I'm Kevin Tran.
I'm Victoria Puri.
And
we'll see you next time.